Creed frickin' Aventus, the king of compliments, the god of all fragrances. Whew, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth $500 frickin'? Should you buy it? Why do people buy it even? It's just literally good smelling water at the end of the day, right? Is something like this worth the money? And that's what I'm here to answer for you today, because if you're watching something like this, maybe you're considering it buying for yourself, and I'm gonna talk to you as a friend, as if someone who asked me, hey Sid, should I buy Creed Aventus, is it worth it? I'm gonna talk to you that way. I'm not gonna be like every other fragrance reviewer, influencer on YouTube being like, well, there's a hint of bergamot in this, and there's a touch of ambroxan at the core. I mean, when people talk like that to me, it literally, I'm like, dude, what's the point of this video? I can go research this shit online. If you knew what ambroxan smelled like and bergamot smelled like, then you wouldn't be, you would already know exactly what to buy, what not to buy, right? The reason people like me exist, and the reason why I'm here on YouTube to come here and do this shit, is to tell you, what does this make someone feel when they wear it? What does others feel? Do people actually compliment or talk to you about it? Do people enjoy the fragrance, right? So that's the things that we're talking about today. And ultimately, is it really worth what it's worth, right? Off the bat, I'm just gonna tell you, once again, speaking like a friend, at full retail, this 3.4 ml bottle is $495. It's not worth it at that price. I mean, just being dead honest to you, I love Creed Aventus. I'm already telling my opinion. I love it, but at $500, it is absolutely not worth it. You can pick it up at discounters though, for $250, $300. Under $300, then we're into conversation. So for the rest of this video, I'm assuming you bought this for under $300, because that's the only way I would have a conversation. Otherwise, to be honest, bro, no fragrance is worth $500 plus. It just isn't. It really just isn't. So when we're talking under like 300-ish, you can get them at fragrancenet.com. There's Joma Shop, which is another great discounter. Even Costco, bro. I saw Costco the other day had this for like $250 and under. You can find coupon codes for Sephora, for Macy's, for Nordstrom or Bloomingdale's or wherever. Like, you can find this for under $300. So please go do that first. Getting into what is Creed Aventus, right? Like, why do people spend this kind of money? Why do people buy it, right? You have to first understand the house of Creed. And the way I think about it is that, I mean, okay, so once again, just so you know, I'm not a freaking dweeb or like just a new guy into this. I own a lot of Creeds actually. So obviously you see I have Creed Aventus. I own, over here, I just have a whole stack here. I have Himalaya, I've bought Creed Irish Tweed, I have Royal Oud. I have more, bro. Don't worry. I got more. This is my resume, right? I got Original Santal. I got Massilia Imperial. I also have Virgin Island Water. I also have Silver Mountain. I have all those. I just don't have them here to show you. But I just showed you a bunch of them, right? So I know this shit. I know a lot of Creed fragrances. I own over 60 fragrances, dude. 60 bottles in just my New York apartment, but over 100 bottles if you consider like all the bottles I have. And Creed is their golden child of their entire line. So the reason Creed Aventus specifically, and like I said, the way I think about Creed as a house is I think about it from terms of watches. When someone wants to buy a really nice watch, right? Like maybe you just started buying watches, you buy a Casio, you buy a G-Shock, you buy a Timex, you start getting in a little bit of watches and you're like, you know what, I want to buy something a bit nicer. You start looking into Movement, Vincero, maybe Movado, if you want to get it even pricier. And let's say then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get even nicer. You buy Tissot, there's a hierarchy to this shit, right? But one day you make enough money. One day you get a bonus. One day you're getting married. One day you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna buy a Rolex. I'm gonna buy a frickin' Rolex. Because somewhere in your mind, you know that is the best of the best in the horology, which is the watchmaking science game. Like, you just know a Rolex is a frickin' Rolex. It's the most accessible form of luxury. You know what it stands for. And when you start thinking about this field of watches, that is the best money can buy. Sure, there is APs for 30, 40K. There's Patek Philippe's. There's always gonna be something more expensive, right? But Rolex is the sign that, hey, I've made it. I'm able to be in this arena and talk to you guys who have those watches, because people all respect it no matter how expensive or cheap your watch is. That's what I think about Creed. Creed is a house just like that. You may start buying fragrances. Maybe you got gifted a Versace Eros, or you got gifted a Dior Sauvage. Maybe you then started getting into fragrances. You bought Jean Paul Gaultier, you bought you bought Chanel. Like you started buying fragrances on your own. Then maybe you get a little fancier. You know what? And you're like, you know what? I saw Mason Margiela's Jazz Club, or I saw Parfums de Marly, or something like that, right? But then at some point, when you start getting into this game and you start getting research as a fragrances, you're like, what is the best fragrance? What do people say is the best fragrance for men? And you start going down a rabbit hole, and then you see influencers and everyone and YouTubers and all saying one thing: Creed Aventus. It's everywhere. You can't run away from it. People all just keep saying it's the god, it's the king of compliments, it's the god of fragrances for men. People are saying it, net jerk reactions for compliment. Like, you'll see it all out there. So is Creed Aventus really all that, right? And in order to get into that, there is something. I do want to explain the scent profile in a second here. I'm not going to get too much in the notes because, like I said, I know you don't care. But it's unmistakably masculine. Unmistakably masculine. And there's this bright, citrusy, fresh, clean sense that women and men just universally love. But then there's this wood, musky, just like this hardcore, freaking macho man bass at it. But then there's this pineapple note. And the reason I'm bringing up the pineapple note, because it's just so freaking in your face, dude, that it just punches you in the face. And it gets compliments. It genuinely does. This is probably my top 3 most complimented fragrance of all time because of that sweet, that spicy, that masculine base with that pineapple note. It's just so wow. It punches you in your nostrils, and you're like, holy shit, this guy smells insane. And I remember I was literally interning at a summer for a company, and I guess I'm a fucking weirdo, but the way I made friends and I was talking to girls and guys is I would put a fragrance on, and then that day I would go and be like, oh, what do you guys think? How do I smell? What do you guys think about this scent? I did the Prada L'Homme, I did Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male, basically all the fragrances I had at the time, Lina Vida L'Homme by YSL. And then I had a small little decanter of Creed Aventus at the time. And I remember I put that on and I walked in. That day I didn't even ask for what they thought, right? But I remember as soon as I walked in, I walked past this girl, she turned around, she was like, now that is what a man smells like. And that is what Creed Aventus in a bottle smells like. It's just an absolute rich freaking dude. It's a guy who's successful, a guy who's made it. Back to when I was giving an example about the Rolex and stuff, right? If you are dropping $500 bottles, which I hope you're not, but that is the retail price we're going with that for this example, then you are probably someone who's very successful. And that's what this cologne embodies, that you are someone who can do that shit. It's the reactions when you get from people when they blind smell it, right? Here are the keywords. You always hear it smells expensive. It smells like a rich person. It smells like a kid with a trust fund. Like, that's an example too, right? When I think about the personality this embodies, right? If I want to put a persona around it, the best freaking example I can think about this fragrance and what it smells like if it was taken in person form is there's that scene in Batman, the Christian Bale version, so The Dark Knight, where I forgot which movie exactly, which one of the 3 it was, but he goes to a hotel, a restaurant, and he brings his girlfriends or some girls with him, and they basically go to the restaurant, but they take their clothes off and they start swimming in the water, which is meant for decoration, but they just jump in the water. The manager comes and is like, oh, Mr. Wayne, this is, hotel policies, your friends can't be doing that, they can't be using the pool. And he's like, all right, who's the manager, who can I speak to, who makes the rules? They're like, sorry, sir, but these are just hotel rules, they've been just around forever. He's like, all right, I'll be right back. And then he writes a freaking check and then buys the hotel. And he's like, you know what, I just bought your entire freaking hotel, I make the rules, that's allowed. That's what I think this smells like in a bottle. A billionaire who gets what he wants. Another great example is Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. He is a billionaire, mysterious, absolute macho man that girls obsess over. Like, that's what this smells like. A guy who is just a freaking man, but also just happens to be very highly successful. Speaking of trust fund kids, another good example is Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl. I mean, the list goes on and on. Like, another great example is when Iron Man, he's in the Avengers, Robert Downey Jr. character version, he gets asked in an interview where it's like, hey, so something like, who do you think you are, whatever, and he's like,
big man in a suit of armor. Take that off, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
That's what this is in a bottle. And I'm not exaggerating. Like I said, I own tons of bottles, bro. There's the energy in this one. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. And there's a reason why people, when they smell it, they feel that energy around you. So is it worth it, right? And that's the thing you're asking. Like, does it get that many more compliments? Does it get that much more reactions? Or does it make, is it that beautiful or incredible fragrance that it's worth into? And that's where things get a little complicated, because there are many fragrances that get very good compliments. There are. I have videos I've done on the channel for under 50 bucks, like absolute compliment gods that will get you a lot of compliments. Close to this one, the same amount as this one, right? Hell, there's even fragrances like Club de Nuit, which are dupes of it, which honestly, dude, to untrained nose, it smells like 90% the same. It smells almost 90% the same. Just being honest, like you can go buy this for 35 bucks on Amazon and it smells really freaking close to it. But there is something to say about the perfumery and the class this one exudes. I did a smell test the other day for one of my videos. It's like, is expensive fragrance worth it? And I'll link it up here. It's one of my favorite videos I've actually done on this channel. And the girls smelled both side by side, blind nose, Club de Nuit, which was this cheap version of this fragrance, and then Creed Aventus, and both girls picked this one. And I went to ask them why, because I was like, they smell exactly the same. Why do you like this one more? Literally straight up, one of the girls said it smells expensive, and the other one says there's a depth to it. And there's something to say about the real shit, man. Because when you wear a $500 fragrance on you, it's really not even about the juice, what's inside anymore. Yes, I gave the example, I gave the notes. I myself, dude, have smelt this on some of my friends or just people and strangers, and I'll go in for a dab or hug them, and I'm like, oh shit, that's a great fragrance. What are you wearing? And as soon as I say it, I immediately think, oh, it has to be Creed Aventus. I catch myself giving compliments without even knowing it's Creed Aventus until I realize it's Creed Aventus. It's like there is something automatic about the fact that it just makes you want to compliment or be like, wow, what is that fragrance? But there's another reason why people who wear this get compliments. It's because, once again, it's not inside the bottle. There is those notes that kind of reflexively want someone to give compliments, but when you wear a $500 fragrance, you move through life a bit differently. There's something to say about the fact that when someone wears a Rolex, when I wear Creed Aventus or Rolex or whatever it is, I genuinely think I'm better than everyone else. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm a vain fucking person. I do grooming channel and fragrance channel and shit, so I obviously like myself. But I genuinely feel like I'm better than everyone else when I wear this. It's because there are fragrances. There's a fragrance for 200K, right? Like, there are always gonna be more fragrances. But once you wear this, you walk into a room and you just know that you've made it. And the psychology benefit that you get, the confidence kick that you get, it's different. The person who wears this fragrance is not someone who feels like they're making $1 million a year. They make $1 million a week. They walk into a club and they don't just go to the club thinking, oh, I'm the best looking guy. They walk in the club and he can pick any girl. Like, that's the kind of mentality this gives you from a psychological perspective. It's literally like getting TRT or steroids if you're trying to be a bodybuilder. That's what this feels like in terms of charisma and psychology hacking. There's a lot of research and study in science that says the way something smells can directly impact our psychology and our confidence. I mean, there are scents out there which you can literally smell. They're called pheromones, which will make you feel anxious. And when you secrete them when someone is nervous or scared, or when someone needs that sense of bravery or that testosterone spike, they release a different kind of pheromone. So there is something to say about the scent and the kind of character it can bring to you. And that is it's not too far to say that the reason people get compliments from Creed Aventus is not because the way it smells, but the way it makes them feel. The way this makes you feel when you wear it is something that gets you compliments automatically because you stand a bit taller. You walk with a bit more purpose. When you speak to someone, you speak directly in their eyes. You're confident. You have a little smirk to yourself because you just know I'm a fucking boss. And there is that whole aura to this that a lot of Gen Z talks about. But aura is something that you can also create externally so strong that it impacts you internally. Your mind follows the body. If your body is following positive body language, open, you're talking to people, you're not scared to approach someone at a networking event, then you can't really put a price tag on this one, right? So there is a lot to say about the fact, yes, there is perfumery. You know, Creed has been around since the 1760s. They've been passed down from generation to generation. Erwin Creed made this, who is the 7th generation of a son of the Creed family, right? 7th generation that have been making freaking fragrances, right? There is to say it uses ambergris, which is whale puke, which is $10,000 a kilo, which is more expensive than gold. There is all that to that. But what's something more is the way it makes you feel, not what's the juice inside of it. For more of the fragrance guys out there who have been doing a lot of research and going down rabbit holes, and they're like, oh, doesn't Creed have done reformulations and they have new bottles and they don't have the great performance and blah, blah, blah. Basically, Creed has done, as anything, this came out in 2010. It's been 15 years. IFRA, which is the International Federation that posts new ingredients, says like, hey, you can use this, you can use that because it does reactions, whatever. Basically, every so often, fragrances go over reformulations. Some say it gets weaker, some change it different. So people say one of the concerns about Creed Aventus is the batch quality, that you don't know what you're gonna get when you get a fragrance. It might be lacking performance, it might be lacking in projection, it might be lacking in, like the scent is not the same as it used to be. So here's my old bottle. This actually has the Creed written in black here. It has the middle, this cap at the top. This is a bottle about like, I want to say like 2018. So it's been some time, like 7 years. So this is pre-reformulations, or at least the batch that people consider is like pretty good batch. This is the new one. This is a couple of years ago. This is the Creed, but you see it doesn't have the black line. It has the metal cap at the top. I'm telling you, man, they smell literally the same. They smell exactly the same to me. If I'm being extremely picky, I would say that this one smells just a bit more brighter. I don't even know if that, to be honest, dude, I can't even tell the difference. Like this was me like literally smelling it every hour to see if there's a difference, and I barely noticed one. Projection and longevity. Do you know why I like Creed Aventus? Like when I say why it's worth it and all this, yes, we talk about everything, but the main thing we forgot to talk about, or I forgot to talk about, is a projection and longevity. This lasts for days. Like days. I'm not even kidding, bro. Like out of all the fragrances I have when it comes to projection, when it comes to longevity, these last the longest. Doesn't matter if it's this bottle, doesn't matter if it's this bottle, doesn't matter if it's a bottle you're gonna buy like this year. It lasts for days. Like bro, sometimes I'll spray it on my clothes and then like I will go for whatever, like 4 or 5 days later I need to wash my clothes. I'll be doing my laundry and I'll pull out a shirt and I'll get a waft of Creed Aventus. Like that's how good the quality of the fragrance is. That's how well it projects. And that's one place where I think Club de Nuit and some of these other fragrances, yes, they can replicate the smell 90%, and the projection is still good. It's very decent. But man, there's something to say about the real shit that you can't explain besides psychological benefits and the fact that it does smell expensive and it does have that depth and the notes and everything, that you can still smell it somehow. Like this, like there is something about it. But the projection alone, man, is just incredible. I hate it when fragrances don't last long. Like I spend $80 and then it disappears in 2 hours. I'm not in this game to wear fragrances for 2-3 hours and then reapply and then reapply. It's like, no, I want to wear one fragrance when I step out the side of the house and I don't want to worry about it. And I want people to compliment me all day until I come back. Like I want fragrances to last. And that's one of the reasons I used to travel a lot with this one, which is why I got the small bottle, because it just fucking lasts. It just, there's something about it that it just doesn't disappear. And it lasts incredibly well on the clothes. If you're a guy who sprays on the skin, it lasts really well on the skin. And it creates like this, and then over time, yes, there's that opening pineapple note, right? But the dry down of this fragrance is really where the magic starts to happen. It's like this rich, deep, a musky scent that almost smells like if you took a gold bar and you opened the gold bar in the middle, like the inside of gold, if gold had an inside, right? This is what it would smell like, just straight up liquid gold. But like there's that dry down is really when I say that's the masculine part of it, right? That's where some of the earthier, that ambroxan note I was talking about, like some of these start to rise to the surface. And there's a reason why girls like sweet scents, guys like fresh scents, so do girls, but then there's also that masculine edge to this. So it has the best of both worlds in the Venn diagram of what makes a fragrance successful. And it's a dangerous combo when you got a sweet scent that is also masculine, that also happens to have longevity and also projection. And that's what Creed Aventus is in a bottle. So in a roundabout, long way, there is no difference between, in my opinion, the different batches. Yes, there are maybe some slight variations to like the smallest degree possible, but there's literally no point of when people go and buy certain batch codes because it smells one way or another. I have the old one, I have the new one. They smell pretty much identical to me. Every fragrance, 2 different bottles have some slight variation, right? Just the amount of time it sits outside or how long it's been. So I wouldn't worry about any of that stuff. Overall, what do I think about Creed Aventus? I think it is worth it. I think it's worth it. It's tough to recommend sometimes because it isn't accessible for a lot of people, right? But that's like saying, do I not recommend a Rolex because it's expensive? No, Rolex is genuinely that good of a brand. Creed is genuinely that good of a brand. Their perfumes are genuinely that good. Now, it's art at the end of the day, and you can price anything at art. There's a picture called The Black Square, which I think sold for $60 million, but to someone, they bought it for $60 million. I wouldn't, maybe you would, but someone did. So there's something to say about the subjectivity, about the fact that it's art. And if you, once again, I still don't think people should spend $500 on it. I don't think that part is worth it. But if you can get it for under $300 and you're someone who is successful and you've made it to a point in life where you want to celebrate yourself, you want to celebrate a moment, you want to reap the rewards of all the hard work you've done, right? I really do think having this on your counter sends a message not just to you, but to everyone around you that you are a boss, that you are someone. And there is that whole aura of the scent itself that reflexively wants people to get compliments because it's unmistakably masculine, unmistakably just a beautiful, sexy, mysterious billionaire scent of a guy that you just walk with this air of confidence. Fresh, clean, absolute powerhouse of a scent, the god of compliments, versatility to the max. You can wear it in any season. There's only good things to say about this fragrance. Yes, the one bad thing is the price. There is that. But if you get it for under $300, I would say it's actually worth it. Surprisingly, maybe you thought I was gonna say otherwise, but it absolutely is worth it. And I think you should definitely use this to celebrate a moment in life or to establish yourself when you have made some type of success in your life. And it will be something you carry with you throughout your years. You will remember, this is the first time I signed that deal. This is when I got married. This is when I bought, like, I wouldn't say just go and buy it because it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go buy an expensive fragrance. Buy it because it means something to you. And then fragrances have a great way, one of my favorite words is redolence. And redolence means smell that reminds you or evokes a memory from you. And when I smell this, I smelled when I first moved to New York in 2018, the small bottle actually, because I just moved to New York. I just got my big city job working at JP Morgan. I was a data scientist for a little bit. I was making entry-level money. It's good money, but it ain't $500 Creed Aventus bottle. Like, my MDs weren't even buying this shit. But me, the freaking guy I am, one of the first things I did with that paycheck was buy a Creed Aventus from fragrancenet.com. Anyways, hope that made your buying decision easier for Creed Aventus, the king of kings. Fun little fact before we sign off here. Erwin Creed, who's credited for this fragrance, I don't think it's actually perfume, but he's credited for this one, the 7th generation of Creed. Made it for Napoleon Bonaparte, who is one of France's, where Creed is based out of, most famous, controversially, but most famous emperor. And that's what they wanted to do, create a fragrance fit for emperors, Aventus, and that's what this will smell like, and that's what will make you feel like a freaking king, an emperor, a boss, if you buy it and you wear it. So if you enjoy this video, go ahead and, the whole thing, subscribe, like, it helps the algorithm, helps me feel more motivated to make more content. Actually, if you want to, you know what, if you made this far into video, you're someone who likes me and who likes my reviews and maybe likes fragrances too. If you actually want to help motivate me to make more content, because that's something I've been lacking a little bit recently, go ahead in the comments and let me know what fragrance you want me to review next. I'm thinking about going more into the fragrance content side of things, less about the whole looks maxing thing. You guys seem to enjoy my fragrance content. So let me know in the comments below what kind of fragrance videos you want to see more of me. What kind of reviews do you want to see more of me? And I'll start using that, adding to my list and making more of them. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.